Hey everybody, it's Loudon Wainwright with John Broughton on Retrospectives on 3SER, KC Radio.
Beautiful. All right, we'll jump right in. This is your first collection of songs for a number of years, about 8 years, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the last studio album was 2014.
Yeah. So during that 8 years, are there a lot of songs that didn't make the cut for this record because they didn't suit the theme?
Well, there were some songs which we recorded and then didn't use, or I decided even not to record. But and then I made I put out a collection of rarities called Years in the Making a few years ago, which was an interesting project for me anyway. And then I also made my previous record was a record called I'd Rather Lead a Band, which is me being a vocalist. I was singing with a great band here in New York called Vince Giordano and the Nighthawks, singing jazz songs from the 1920s and 30s. So that was an adventure that I enjoyed a lot. Those obviously weren't my songs, but I loved doing that. But it's been 8 years since there's been an album of my own material.
Yeah. First time I sat down to listen to this record, what I actually did, as soon as I finished it, I sat down and listened to your first album from 50 odd years ago, back to back. And well, there's not too many artists you could say this about, but it does sound like the same guy 50 years apart.
Really?
Yeah. If those two guys could get together and collaborate on a song, what do you think they'd come up with?
Well, I've been writing about the same stuff for the last 50 years, including getting older. I mean, a lot of this album is about getting older because now I'm actually older. But even in my first record, in the first song, it's in Delaware when I was younger. So my obsession or interest in mortality has been there for the whole ride. I don't know what the two of us would do together. I will say, though, that whenever I hear those first couple of records that from 50 years ago, I don't recognize that singer because he or I was singing at such a high kind of piercing register. It sounds kind of strange to me, but if you think it sounds like the same guy, that's okay with me.
Well, it sounds like the same guy. There's no mistaking it's the same guy, but 50 years older, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Hey, you put out a memoir a few years ago, which it was great that you did, but in a way your recorded output has been something of an audio memoir through the years, talking about different times of your life and your family and everything. Did you... going through the process of writing that memoir, did you go through different emotions writing about these things in book form as what you would have in song form?
Well, I think that writing the memoir was an entirely different experience. I mean, the memoir is called liner notes, but aside from writing some liner notes on the back of albums for over the years, I mean, I had never really written prose before. So it was an entirely new experience for me. And I just got up every morning for a couple of years and wrote, worked on some essays. And that's really what the book is. Writing a 3-minute song is quite a bit different than that, I'd say. Writing a 3-minute song is more like catching a fish.
Hey, for someone who's spent so much time on the road in a normal world, we haven't really had a normal world for the past couple of years. How much of an adjustment was that for you to have that lifestyle virtually taken away from you?
Well, I was fortunate. I have a place to live that's out on the end of Long Island, and it's called Shelter Island, and it is a kind of sheltered place, and so it felt safe to be out here during the pandemic as opposed to in New York, where I, would usually be spending more of my time. Not traveling around and working for a couple of years also felt okay to me. I mean, I enjoyed that break. Now I am back out on the road. I mean, I have a show on Saturday. I had shows last week. I did a tour of the UK recently, but I kind of enjoyed the sabbatical from that aspect of my job. I didn't enjoy worrying about getting sick all the time, but who did?
True. Was there any point during the lockdown periods that you contemplated actually not going back on tour once things opened up again?
Well, no, not really. I mean, sometimes I fantasize about not going back on tour in general, just because I wonder how much more of this. I mean, I sing about this on the record. A song like "A Little Piece of Me." I wonder how much more of this, how much longer can this go on? So, but I'm getting on a plane on Saturday and going to Pittsburgh. So the beat goes on.
A lot of songwriters I've spoken to did a lot more writing than they normally would during lockdowns. Was that the case with you as well?
I wouldn't say so.
No?
I mean, I wrote some songs, and again, it's like fishing for me. I mean, I caught some fish, but not the usual amount. And I threw back the usual amount too.
I saw you quoted as saying this album came out of a creative burst that encountered in the last year after the doldrums of the previous 2 years. Was it the fact that things were starting to turn back to normal, or some sort of normal, that triggered that creative burst?
Gee, I don't know what creates any creative burst. The whole thing for me, and I've been writing songs for a long time. I still don't understand how it works, where it comes from, the songs. It's mysterious to me, and I kind of like it that way. So there's no explanation for it. If a good song comes along, it's for me, it's magical, and I don't ask questions about it.
As you mentioned, the aging process is something you have dealt with in song quite a few times through the years. I remember the birthday present, Sung in the Shower from the Grown Man album, the possibility or the prospect of turning 50. Have you found writing about the aging process a good way or helpful way for you to deal with it?
Well, how it's. I don't know that it's solved any of the problems that come along with the aging process, but again, it's an interesting situation, where we start out with these lovely little bodies, and look what happens to us. I mean, it's kind of unbelievable. It doesn't seem fair a lot of the time, but writing about it, I don't know. I think, I mean, I'm trying to create some kind of an identification with an audience, and I do know that a lot of my fans, or people that like my songs or buy my CDs or whatever, are going through the same process themselves. So it's not like I'm talking about something that they don't know about.
I did come away from listening to the album with a feeling that I've just heard a man who's very content, very much at ease with his life and its current state. Would that be a fair comment?
Well, I think what's different about this record, and maybe these days for me, is that I think there is a kind of a more optimistic way of looking at things. I'm feeling, despite the fact that I'm this old, I feel rather optimistic. I don't quite know why. I'm in a pretty good relationship with my partner Susan, and we've been together for something like 9 years. She'd be pissed off that I can't remember whether it's 9 years or 10 years, but anyway, I feel fortunate. I can still do my job. I still like performing, and this magical thing of writing songs. So I don't, whether it's contentment, I don't know, but I feel optimistic.
Yeah. Did you think about aging in your much younger years? Did you actually think that you'd be a working traveling musician still at the age of 75?
Well, like a lot of young people, I had very romantic ideas about, I thought I was going to be dead when I was 25, because that's a romantic kind of idea. I'm glad it didn't turn out that way.
Hey, before we start talking about some of the songs on the album, let's have a listen to one of them. If you've got your guitar within reach there, that'll be fantastic.
Well, let me reach around and grab it.
Okay, doke.
I don't know. What do you want to hear?
How about How Old is 75? It's
Wow. Well, I need a banjo for that.
Oh, do you? Okay.
So that and I don't have a banjo at this particular location.
No problem. Town and Country?
Boy, that's a high energy one. All right, let me see if I can pull that off.
Okay.
Let me just tune this thing here. Sirens are screaming all day and night long. It's 24/7. I'm on a mission. I'm in the city. I'm here. Been in the country, out on an island, feel good now, and I'm damn near smiling. I'm in the city. I can hardly believe that I'm here. I took the train when I got to the station. I felt a release. You could say it was elation just to be back in the city with all of you people down here. Thousands of faces I've never seen, out of my mind in a fever dream. I'm in the city, I can hardly believe I'm here. Behind those masks, there's all those faces. I'm so excited seeing parking spaces. There's talking and there's laughing and there's screaming and there's singing down here. I'm in the city, you better believe it. I'm done with the country, no fun, I had to leave it. The crickets made me nervous. I'm in the city, I'm here. Last night we ate in a restaurant, fine wine, good food, all that we wanted. Just like in the old days, sitting around having us a meal. Yeah, it was a moment that was a little unstable. A rat big as a cat ran under the table. I guess the rats are all happy. Money to eat down here. Yeah. Couple of drunkards on a subway train made me feel right at home. Not much changes when you're in the city. Bright lights look pretty down here. But I was afraid I might feel a little empty. Now that I'm here, go on, you can tempt me, cause I'm here to get tempted. I'm here to get rid of my fear. My dear mother was afraid of the city. She said, don't go there, Loudy, it's shady and it's shitty. She was raised in the country, what could that poor woman know? My father went to town, he was a working slob. Getting into trouble was his other job. Running in trouble in the back on that train, get me to the station. I'm going insane, get me out of this city. It's a little too crazy for me. I need trees, salt water, clean air, warm feet, fireplace, and a rocking chair. Mother knew best, the city's too shitty for me. Yeah, well, I'm in the city and the sirens are screaming all day long, 24/7. I'm on a mission. I'm in the city, I'm here. Been in the country, out on a night, and I feel good now. I'm damn near smiling. I'm in the city, I can hardly believe I'm here.
Fantastic. Well, I really did put you to work there.
Yeah, fortunately, it's 6 p.m. If it was 9 a.m. where I am, I couldn't have done that.
You're still hitting those high notes. Good to hear.
Well, thanks.
Hey, one of my favourite tracks on the album is Fam Back, or Family Vacation for short, short for, exploring the concept of taking a vacation without family members, something many people probably think about but never follow through on. What inspired you to pop that one out?
Well, you know, a lot of these songs start with one, you know, the first line or the first two lines. And I think I found myself saying, I need a family vacation. And then this little line came to me. I mean a family vacation alone. So then you think, oh, again, to use that analogy of fishing, that's a tug on the line. You can feel something is nibbling at the bait or I do anyway, when I hear something like that. I think, oh, this is the beginning of something, or this is an idea. So then I sit down and try to get it in the boat, so to speak, on shore, whatever. So that song just started with that beginning, and then I just finished it up.
Your songs are often very personal, relate to specific times in your life. Has this become difficult in later years to perform some of these songs from way back when because they relate to a whole different time and place?
Well, some of the songs. Again, we've established the fact that I've been doing this for over 50 years. So there's several hundred songs. Some of them I don't do because I've forgotten them or I can't relate to them. As you say, you know, I can't identify with them. But others, you know, I still do some songs from my very first record. You know, I kind of sometimes I rediscover songs. I've recently been kind of relearning some songs from an album I did about 20 years ago called Here Come the Choppers.
Oh yeah.
And you know, anyway, I'm kind of relearning how to play those songs because I think, wow, these are kind of interesting songs. So you know, I go through different periods with the body of work, you know. Does that answer your question to a degree?
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. There's a lovely photo inside the album cover of you mowing the lawn, or I assume it's you mowing the lawn. Not a photo we'd expect to see of Loudon Wainwright. We'd normally expect a publicity shot or an onstage photo or in a motel room or airport lounge. So have you become more domesticated in your senior years?
Well, again, you know, in the lockdown, yeah, I was spending more time at home, and that is me mowing my lawn. I bought that lawnmower. This would have been, you know, last year, I guess. I hasten to say that it's an electric lawnmower.
Oh, wow.
But, you know, it was so amazing to do something like that because I did as a 14-year-old, I earned money in the summer, or it's in the summer, our summertime, by mowing people's lawns. So it was a real kind of Proustian, almost going back in memory and time to be behind a lawnmower. And I, that song starts with that idea of here I am 60 years after the fact mowing lawn.
Got your old job back.
Yeah, my old job.
Yeah. I read Run With You, which described the song It Takes Two as something of a sequel to your classic One Man Guy. Is that how you see it as well?
Well, I wouldn't call it a sequel. I reference One Man Guy in It Takes Two because It Takes Two is a very I used the word optimistic. It's a very it's kind of a love song. An optimistic love song about connecting with somebody or being with somebody. And One Man Guy is about isolation and being alone and feeling alone. So it's not a sequel, but it's they are related, or they're opposing situations, let's say.
Another one of my favorites is the song No Man's Land, written from the point of view of a dog who's in a shared custody arrangement with a couple that have separated. What was the trigger inspiring that song? Was it someone you actually knew, or?
Yeah. The dog in question, the narrator of that song, is no longer with us. He's a wonderful. In fact, if you ever want to see a picture of that dog, he's on the cover, or he's in the artwork of Here Come the Choppers.
Oh, right.
It's a dog called Harry, a wonderful, very dumb mutt. And when I split up and divorced my second wife, we didn't have a custody battle about Harry. Harry lived with her, but again, it was an idea of using, of it being a kind of custody, a kind of Kramer versus Kramer situation, if you will. Rufus, that was a Freudian slip. Harry has been in a lot of my songs. I have a song called Man and Dog. I have another song called Puppy Hate.
Oh, yeah.
So Harry's been a source of great inspiration.
Always great to see David Mansfield and Chaim Tannenbaum on your albums. Your association with them goes back a long, long way. How did you first connect with both of those guys?
Well, Chaim I've known for over 50 years. He's from Montreal, and he was a friend of my first wife, Kate McGarrigle. They played a lot of music together, and that's how I met Chaim. And always a delight to work with him. And David, I don't know, David I've probably known for 40 years or 35. I can't, we met at the Edmonton Folk Festival, I think, or something like that. But he's one of my favorite musicians and buddies, and lovely to get those guys in the studio.
So whenever that day does come, let's hope it's a long way away yet, that you do decide to hang up your boots from recording and performing. Do you think you'd still feel the motivation to write songs? Is it so instilled within you that you'd still do it regardless?
I have no idea. I wouldn't. I couldn't say. I don't know what's going to happen. It's a nice idea to to keep at it, and all of it, writing and performing, and but who knows?
Yeah. Well, before I let you go and enjoy your Thursday evening, we'll take one more live song for me. That'd be fantastic.
How about you mentioned the song about Harry, shall I play that for you?
Yeah, that'd be great.
No Man's Land, it's called. Let me see here. He lives on the east side now, she's on the west. The park is in between them, and I guess it's for the best. There in no man's land, I can get me a walk when they meet in the middle to hand me off. I got a big bark, but not much of a bite. At the foot of her bed, I sleep there through the night. She pets me and spoils me, calls me her little boy. And each and every Christmas time I get a new squeaky toy. But when I stay with him, we're both at a loss. He gets kind of alpha, acting like he's the boss. He and I used to wrestle back when I was just a pup. But we're older and slower now, we gave that all up. I never did figure out who was in the wrong. All that crying and yelling went on way too long. Everything changes, I suppose that was it. But they both seem so sad since the day they split. I'm in the middle here in no man's land, hoping for a truce. It's hard to understand why all this had to happen. It don't even seem real. Why don't they just lick and make up? What's the big deal? I never won a ribbon, I'm no best in show. I'm just a dumb mutt, what the hell do I know? Except the day that they got me sure was a great day. And they'd get back together if I had my way. They would lick and make up if I had my way.
Beautiful. Love it. Thanks so much, Loudon. So you're
Well,
back on the road.
to you, John.
Back on the road again. Any chance we'd see you down here again? Because it's been a while.
Boy, it has been a while. I'd love to get back down there. But again, it's in the lap of the gods, or whoever wants to pay me to come on down. But I've had a lot of fun when I have toured Australia and New Zealand and those places. So I'm hoping to get back in this lifetime.
That'll be great. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Thanks again. Congratulations on a wonderful album. It's great to hear a new batch of songs from you, and congratulations on reaching the 75 milestone.
Hey, all the best.
Here's
Thank you, John.
More. Thanks, Loudon. All the best.
Bye-bye.
Bye.